Hey, welcome. Today we are here to discuss Eddie Griffin and Shannon Sharpe. So the two are going back and forth, and you're probably like, what is going on between Eddie Griffin and Shannon Sharpe? Now, for those of you who don't know who Eddie Griffin is, he is a comedian and has been a comedian from before I was even thought of being born, right? So that's how long Eddie Griffin has been doing comedy. Now, Shannon Sharpe, he did the interview recently with Cat Williams. And I think everyone, because the Cat Williams interview went so well, I think everyone is trying to have a Cat Williams moment by like telling jokes about it or whatever the case may be. So Eddie Griffin goes on stage, tell a joke about the interview setup and about how Shannon Sharpe, the way he was positioned in the interview, seemingly was very homosexual. And that Cat Williams had to kind of kept turning away from him, and he just basically kept calling Shannon Sharpe gay, right? Now, for me, I don't feel like a man's manhood should be the butt of a joke just because there are certain things you don't play with. I feel like there's certain things when it comes to children. I don't feel like children should be the butt of a joke. I don't think that dead people should be the butt of a joke. And I don't think you should play around with certain topics such as like ailments, and a person's manhood. I feel like those are certain topics that you just kind of keep far away, right? And I feel like too, like there's always this outrage, and I do want to tread off the topic just a little bit and get back on it. I feel like there's always this outrage from the LGBTQIA community when there is something being said about people within the community, right? Within the community, whether it's a transgender joke, or it's a joke about bisexuals, or it's a joke about gays or whatever. But when it's a joke about heterosexual people and then being classified as gay, and that perhaps being homophobic, because why would you call a straight person gay when they're not? And as a means to laugh at them, isn't that in itself homophobic? Why isn't that brought up with the whole transgender, with the whole LGBTQIA community? Like, why isn't that talked about? And I brought up transgender because though the last argument that we had that was real public, was with the transgenders versus how am I losing his name? Dave Chappelle, right? So it's just like, why is it for such an outrage when there's people within the community, the LGBTQIA community, being attacked, but the people outside of the community who are being attacked, there isn't much outrage? And I feel like that should be an argument within itself. Like, it shouldn't be the butt of a joke to call a heterosexual man gay, especially when he has stated publicly that he's not. Now, back onto the topic of Shannon Sharpe. Do I feel like he should be tolerating this? No. Do I think Shannon Sharpe is smart though? Absolutely. He knows that he's the it guy, and he knows that people just want to get some clout off of his name, want to get some clout off of the Cat Williams interview, and because of it, he knows he has to endure a lot. And I don't like to see it. Even if, like, let's say he was gay, let's entertain the idea, the thought that he was gay. Like, it's no one's business, right? You know what I mean? And I just feel like at the end of the day, Shannon Sharpe, I like the fact that he didn't react the same way he reacted to Mike Epps, because then they would have blown things out of proportion, and it would have been like, well, why do you consistently react like this when someone pushes that particular button, right? He held his composure and was just like, look, you guys are looking for clout, and that's it. But anyway, I want to hear how you guys are feeling about this whole Shannon Sharpe, Eddie Griffin situation. Do you think it's just comedy, or do you think certain jokes should be held back? Share your thoughts and comments down below if you're listening to this on YouTube, if you're watching this on YouTube, and if you're listening to this through Apple Podcasts or Spotify Podcasts. I think you guys can send me a voice message. So I look forward to hearing from you guys. Laters.